Hi guys, I'm Chris from Human Talk Training. In this video I'm going to teach you an exercise that is going to teach you and teach your body how to get your spine into the correct alignment. Now you hear people talking about having a neutral spine. Now all that means is like your spine's got a natural S-curve in it. Like your lumbar spine's got a concave curve and your thoracic spine's got a convex curve. So where the problem happens is people will they'll have too much of a curve in their lumbar spine, so they'll be really lordotic. You can see like that, like my butt sticking out. Or they can go the other way as well. You can be in a posterior pelvic tilt, which is where my tailbone's tucked under. Imagine if my pelvis, if it was a bowl filled with water. If I was going into anterior pelvic tilt, I'd be tipping water out the front. If I was going into posterior pelvic tilt, I'd be tipping water out the back. Now, like I said, you going one of either way too far, you're going to have problems with your back. Okay, so this exercise is going to teach you how to find that sweet spot where your abs can work the best. Because when you're in too much of an anterior pelvic tilt, your abs are stretched and they don't contract properly and really support your spine. Okay, so to do this exercise you need a club. Now you need something with a decent amount of weight because it's an isometric exercise. What you're doing is you're getting the club into back position. If it's going to be awesome for if you struggle with like the club arm cast or the club swipe or any club exercises where you're swinging them behind your back and your core's really got to be working. Okay, so get the club into back position. Do it safely. You see here I kind of do like the start of a reverse paracast. Okay, so the club now you can see is hanging behind my shoulder. So not right behind my spine like this. I'm bringing my elbow round like this while keeping my shoulder down. Okay, now what I'm doing is I'm lifting my chest and rib cage. Okay, so I'm getting as tall as possible, and then here's the tricky bit with your pelvis. So as I was doing before, when you're in an anterior pelvic tilt, you've got this big arch, and you're going to feel like this. You can even hear it's hard for me to talk. You're going to feel that all in your lower back. You need to tuck your pelvis under, and what's happening is the weight of the club bell's wanting to pull me backwards, and you'll by doing that pelvic tilt, you'll find that middle ground. You'll find that sweet spot where your core is really working and resisting you from being pulled backwards. Now, the whole time you want to keep your belly button drawn into your spine, and you're going to hold that exercise for time. So I'd hold it, once you find that sweet spot, hold it for 20 seconds. It's not an exercise that you're going to want to do to failure. It's more of an exercise teaching you to get that perfect spinal alignment. Same thing like as doing, you see people doing planks on the ground. They're doing the same thing. Gravity is trying to arch their back and drop their hips down. But I've found with myself and with heaps of other people, like ground-based exercises are alright, but they don't always carry over to when you're standing on your feet. You know, gravity's acting upon you in a different way, and in my opinion, everything changes when you're on your feet. So like being able to hold a plank for 4 minutes like means nothing if you can't hold that neutral position for your spine standing on your feet. Okay, if you don't have a heavy club, I'll show you how to do it with a kettlebell. Okay, so you want to hold the kettlebell like this. So hold it with the horns. Do like a kettlebell halo to get it into back position. Okay, and same thing. I'm letting my arms but going back as far as they can. So this is really good as well. It's a good stretch on your shoulders, your chest, your lats, and it's also, like, for beginners, it's kind of teaching you to have weight in this back position, teaching your shoulders that it is a natural place to be in. Okay, so I'm doing the same thing here. Notice I'm not like this. Okay, that's bad. I want to tuck my pelvis and even slightly lean back, just a slight, like it's such a slight movement leaning back, and you will seriously feel your core burning. Like right now, my core is on fire. Okay, so same thing with that. You want to hold it for the same time. And these exercises like this, you don't want to do this forever. You want to do it until you're really comfortable and you know that neutral position for your spine. And then you want to progress on to more dynamic exercises, like then move to your arm casts, your shield casts, swipes, all that other really fun stuff. So yeah, give these a try. Like I said, they've helped me and people I've taught a lot to just find that neutral position and really learn how to use your core on your feet.